All right, parents, well, welcome back. And I believe earlier I talked to you about this idea of influence, and it's like the most important skill you got to have. And unfortunately, I see a lot of parents, not you in this audience, but regular parents. I see a lot of them being jerks to their kids. They're bullies, they're yelling, they're intimidating, they're threatening. If you don't do this, I'm going to take this away from you. Oh, that's a great motivator. Imagine your boss, if you don't pay, do what I tell you to, I'm going to fire you. Oh. If you did your job and like didn't have to get paid, like you show up, do it, don't do it, would you still show up? Just curious. So think about that, right? Is the relationship that you have with your job. Now, some of you are very fortunate, and the job you have, you would do, get paid, don't care, love what you do, love the impact that you make. But for a lot of people, if I got, I do this all the time, when someone's like, hey, do you need anything else? I'm at the store, I'm at the restaurant or whatever. I say, yeah, $1 million. And they're like, honey, if I had $1 million, I would not be working here. And I think, wow, that's a shame. Why do you live a job that you hate? Why do you devote yourself to something that you don't love? But that's them, not me. And again, I don't judge them on that. I'm just curious as to why you would do such a thing. And I know I've been a wage slave in the past as well, so I do know why. But each of us has to come to our realizations and our decisions in our own way. So let's go back a second. And I said influence. You got to get that, right? If you're not influencing, well, threatening and intimidation, what I call manipulation, that is a form of influence. It doesn't last unless you're there to enforce the pain. When the pain goes away, the motivation goes away. On the other side, if you can build motivation, which is a win-win game, you feel good, I feel good, we both get results, then that's going to last even when you're not there, because it's something intrinsic inside the person that they want to go after the things that you're talking about, or the things you're inspiring them to go do. So what's the number one skill you need to have if you want to get influence with somebody, right? It's a thing called rapport. And it's the idea that people like themselves. So if you present yourself, or the energy that you use comes across as being similar to their energy, they're going to like you. So if, when I work with families and kids, and I've got young ladies and gentlemen down to 4 years old, so I've got a 4-year-old on the side of the floor. And for those of you that don't know, besides working with families and kids as a coach, I'm also a martial arts instructor. And I have a full-time martial arts school, and I teach 5-6 days a week. So I've got a 4-year-old on the side of the floor. And the 4-year-old is upset because they didn't get to answer questions. And so they're down here like this, and I didn't get to do anything. Well, if I come up to them and I'm like, hey, Billy, I'm really sorry you didn't get a chance to work out and answer questions, but you know what, let's get out there and let's get on some hardcore training because it's going to be awesome. Is that energy going to meet that 4-year-old, or am I going to blow this kid out of the water? Right, I hope you understand. I mean, I'm like 3 times his size. He's going to be like, ah. So if I want to get in rapport with this young man, then I'm going to use a technique that's called mirroring and matching, and you can Google the crap out of that. But I'm going to match kind of his energy. I'm going to meet him where he is, and then I'm going to draw him somewhere else. So I'm going to come up and be like, hey, Billy, I'm really sorry you didn't get a chance to answer, but you know what? There's going to be another chance to answer questions. But before that, what's more fun? Are we going to sit right here and do nothing? Or are we going to get out there on the floor and do stuff? Because what's more fun, sitting here or doing stuff? Doing stuff? Hey, I think you're exactly right. Can I have a high five? All right, so come on. Let's go out together and let's work on a couple things. Can you hold the target for me? And I'll do some stuff, and then I'll hold the target for you, and you can do some stuff. And now I can get Billy out on the floor, and I can get him engaged again. But it's because I met him at a lower level of energy, and I slowly build my energy up. Does this make sense? So think about when you interact with your kids, right? You're coming home from work, you got different stuff going on, and then your kids are being schmucks, and they're not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing, and you're just like, ah! Are you in rapport or out of rapport? You're out of rapport, so what happens to your influence? You lose it, right? So this is the idea, you start to play with this concept of, oh, how do I get my energy to match with my kids? Now, not always easy, I'm going to be honest here, as a human being, you're going to have those times when you're just absolutely torqued off. Well, can you maybe tell your kids, hey, I got to talk to you and it's important, but I need to cool off first. I'll be right back. Can you do that? Does that undermine your authority, or does it build your influence with your children? Say, I love you so much, I really want to talk to you, but I want to make sure I'm in a good place first. So I'll be right back. Don't do anything stupid or dangerous, but I'll be right back. Right? You can say things to make it fun and light and playful, but it's just to engage with them and then come back and engage again when your energy is more relaxed, more calm. So the thing you need, number one thing to have with your kids is you need to have influence. How do you get influence? You got to have rapport with them, get them to talk to you, get them to open up to you. but that comes from being in a similar energy. So it's kind of being sensitive. How do your kids process? Not suck it up, buttercup, you need to be tougher. Well, there's a time and place for that. I'm not going to argue with that. But if that's your only answer all the time, you don't want to have your only tool be a hammer. It's great for driving nails. Sucks for opening pickle jars, unless you like glass all over your house, right? So we want to have more tools in our arsenal or more tools in our toolkit instead of just a hammer. And there's a time and a place to drop the hammer with the kids when they're messing around, and you really need to get their attention and really put fear into them about something that could be catastrophically dangerous for them or for the people around them. Absolutely use that tool, but make sure it's the right tool for the right situation. The kid drops the milk and you go ballistic and you're slamming things and yelling and screaming and punching holes in the wall. Probably overkill. Not saying I've never done that, but when I was younger, yelling and screaming and putting holes in the walls, yes. Now as an adult, haven't done it ever since I started martial arts, actually, since before I was 20. So pretty awesome, right? So number one, you gotta have rapport. Number one, you gotta have influence. Number two, rapport gives you influence. And what kills your rapport? Well, we'll cover that in just a minute. So next clip.